Lights out, lying in your arms, and these feelings start to change. One look into your eyes, and I'm floating far away.
Hello guys, great to see you again on my channel. In my previous video I told you that I would show you my toolbox. So here we are. Here are my knives. I'll tell you a bit about every one of them. I will start from this one. This is a chisel. Actually, this is very old chisel. It made in Soviet Union. Soviet Union fallen apart about 30 years ago. So this chisel made more than 30 years ago, but it still works. I use it when I make every my spoon. The next couple of knives are semicircular chisels. One of them is straight chisel and another one like curved chisel. I use both a lot, mostly this one. When I cut every my spoon, every my mug, every my plate, I use a lot of this knife. It's sharp from one side, from this side, and of course it's very sharp. All of them very sharp. This knife is pretty interesting. On Russian we call it like axe or like hatchet. Because of its shape, it really looks like an axe. And I also use a lot this knife, mostly when I cut small details on spherical surface, like back part of a spoon, back part of a spoon or a handle. I use this hatchet a lot. The next couple of knives are also semicircular chisels, but with a small radius, and this one is straight and this one is curved. I use them for small details, or when I want to make something like a line on the surface. By the way, this knife on Russian we call it like corner because of its triangle shape. It has triangle shape. And the last but not least, this knife. It's sharp from both sides, and usually I use it like a pen when I want to make small details or a small line, like maybe caption, that sort of thing. I use this knife. It's very useful. It's a brief summary about my knives. Of course, I use every one of them every time when I make something from wood. Usually I make spoons, plates and mugs, and every time I use all of them. Very useful knives, and I'm very glad that I have this toolbox. Nevertheless, as usual, as in any other kind of deal, there are some features, some secrets, some tricks, and I'm going to show you entire procedure like I process wood with an oil. Firstly, I'm going to show you what kind of oil I use. Well, here is an oil which I use for process the wood. In fact, I use linseed oil. You can see that I have two different bottles of the same oil, but from different suppliers. I bought this oil just in grocery store. Actually, it was Alshan. Honestly, usually I bought this kind of oil from this supplier. Anyway, it's just Russian local supplier, and I use this one because it's natural, without any ingredients, just oil, and I already used this kind of oil in my previous works. While linseed, I read a lot about this topic, and I came to the conclusion that linseed oil is the best choice for process my spoons, because it doesn't have flour, just a little bit, and it doesn't have special taste. And after process with this oil, you can use a spoon for eating without any problems for health. So I decided that I'd better will use this kind of oil, I mean linseed oil. And let me show you how I process. So, well, usually I use a couple of pans. It depends on size and shape of the wooden thing, and in fact, usually for my spoons I use this couple of pans, and in Russian we call this method like water bath, because in bottom pan I am going to put a water, and it will heat with a gas, and in top one I'm going to put an oil, and the temperature of the oil is going to be about 70 degrees of Celsius. That's important to keep temperature less than 80 degrees of Celsius, because if temperature will be upper than 80 degrees, it's going to become bad for health, because it can start to boil, which not good. So I'm going to put water in bottom. Well, I put enough water in bottom pan, and now I will put an oil in top pan. Everything is easy, as I told you. In fact, you just need to use suitable pans. Well, water in a bottom pan starts to boil, so I'm going to put my spoon inside the oil, just like this, and you can see that top part of my spoon above the oil, and that's why I am going to turn this spoon every 5 minutes. And I put this big thing in order to put my spoon as much as possible under the water. Okay, and I'm going to process the spoon during about 30 minutes. So I start my timer. And I want to show you that there are lots of very small bubbles which are coming from the spoon. It means that an air is getting out from the spoon, and the oil is getting inside the spoon, and that's exactly what I need. I want this spoon to become like waterproof. Well, period of 30 minutes is over, so I'm going to take the spoon out, switched off the gas, and I am taking it out. It's hot, but my fingers can put up with this temperature. Temperature is about 80 degrees. You can see that the spoon became a bit yellow and brown, and also after processing with oil you can see a good wooden structure of the shape of the surface of the spoon. It became more beautiful. And now I am going to just to leave the spoon on the air, on the plate, for 5 days. After 5 days it's possible to use the spoon for eating. Okay guys, my work with the spoon is over. The spoon is ready, and I'm going to give it to my mom tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the 8th of March. It's pretty famous holiday here in Russia, when every man will try to give something for his women, I mean for his mom, his wife, his sister, his daughter, and so on. Thanks for watching. Put your likes, write your comments or questions below this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left.